Okay, let's get started. Good afternoon, everyone. Some of you it might still be morning. I wanted to just get an audio check real quick. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, thanks, April. Yeah, this has been a crazy, crazy week. I'll tell you what, crazy month actually of August, but we're coming to an end of the month. Then we're going to be starting gearing up for the big our big Mecca down at Five Star here in a few weeks. Today's call we're going to have Darren on. I'm not sure if he's on the call yet. I'm not sure if he's on the call yet, but we'll definitely get him on the call here in a couple minutes. I definitely wanted to find out from any of the agents on the call, if they've had any wins in the last month. Are you working with any new asset management companies? You talking to any new clients? What's going on with you guys out there?
I can tell you, we're working with a couple of different opportunities here with a lot of like nonprofits acquiring HUD properties. We got assigned 23 in the Houston market yesterday or the day before. So I'm starting to see more of that pop up across the country with kind of not going through the traditional foreclosure market, but that inventory is starting to cycle through in different formats and stuff there.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. It's good to see activity. I know here at American Destiny, we're bringing on some new clients. I don't know if Darren will talk about them during when he gets on the phone or not, but it's actually pretty exciting. Some of the clients that we're talking to right now, and while when he's in Dallas, he'll definitely be meeting with some work. A lot of our clients actually are based out of Dallas, so he'll be meeting with some people while he's down there. Does anybody want to make any announcements before we start the call? And by the way, I mentioned in the newsletter, and I also mentioned when I did some calls today that we're going to start taking attendance for these calls. The way I do is I take screenshots. So I'll take a screenshot like towards the middle and towards the end of the call, and then I have an admin that will put this into a spreadsheet for us. It's just to see who's on the call. You don't. These are not mandatory calls. You don't have to be on these calls. They're suggested that you do come on. But I think what we're just trying to create with American Destiny is, we have our database of 4,000 agents that we work with over the course of the year, and some agents are more active than others. And we just like want to see who's being active, and who's helping us grow as well. So that's how we'll be doing it. So it will be any announcement or any spreadsheet or any Google Forms to fill out along those lines. And a few people have been texting me about the link, so I've been multitasking here and sending them the link here. But anyhow, anything else? Anybody else want to go over anything or mention anything that's going on or any announcements?
Hey, Eric, it's Christy Quick in Charlotte.
Hey, Christy.
Are you going to be talking at all about Five Star and who's going and meetups or anything else like
Yeah,
that?
we will definitely. We're gonna have some conversation today about that. A lot of people on this call. Larry will be there, and Sharon will be there. I'll be there. I believe I see Mark on the call. He's always there. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that. Darren just jumped on as well, so we can talk a little bit about what's happening at Five Star. Also, in the newsletter that I'm going to be preparing for next week, it's going to be a Five Star centric newsletter. Meaning we'll put when our masterminds are for American Destiny. I always like to promote Jeff Russell's mastermind because it's really good. He does a great job. I wasn't able to be on it last week, but anybody on this call should definitely also be on Jeff's mastermind call. Jeff's a seasoned veteran, over 2,000 REO sales in his career, and he does this because he just wants to see other agents that work REO do well. I've known Jeff for about 4 years now, and he's a person that just really cares about how other people are doing. And we also promote Larry White's Wealth Building Mastermind, which is on Fridays. Not necessarily REO specific, but I really do believe that everything he has some great guests on, and I really do believe that there's a lot of value. Now, you guys can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, where most of these masterminds are recorded, and the mastermind will be in the newsletter. And I apologize in advance. I'm really bad at multitasking, so I usually don't check the chat. You guys can certainly chat away. I probably won't see it unless I turn the mic over to like Larry or Darren, and I can do some checkups there. But any
Hey,
other
Eric, on
announcements?
that, on that,
Oh,
on
good,
that
Larry.
5-star note, we will actually have Jonathan and Gina, the head of 5-star, on the mastermind call this Friday, so tomorrow, 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. And for anybody that's looking to go, we have a $200 discount on the REO Alliance. I believe it's just REO Alliance 200. To my knowledge, that's the biggest discount that's out there and stuff right now. And so that will be talked about tomorrow, like for the entire mastermind call for anybody that's interested.
Thanks for that, Larry. Yeah, if you guys need the link for that, send me an email. ebengal@adr-usa.com. You guys should all have my email address. I will send you, if you don't have Larry's link, I'll send it to you, and you guys can definitely come on to that call tomorrow. I didn't even know that they would be on the call. Any other announcements before we kick things off today? Today's call will be relatively short. Normally we have a guest speaker. We didn't have one this month. I spoke with Darren a little bit earlier today, and he's like, "Well, should we still have the call?" I said, "Yeah, it's we've been doing it monthly. It's been going pretty well. I like consistency. Right now we have 44 people on the call, so I'm glad you guys made it your priority to be on the call today." So let me just turn it over to Darren, let him do some announcements of things that are going on over in American Destiny Real Estate. We'll be here to answer the rest of your questions. We'll go into some stuff that's going on at 5-star, and then we'll end off the call probably a little bit early today. So, Darren, did you have anything you want to go over?
Thanks, Eric. Honestly, on the 5-star, that's kind of like where my head is right now, because that's the next time I'm going to see a lot of you guys in person. So hopefully you're already set up to go. If not, get registered. There's a kickoff on Sunday night that we're going to talk about the REO Alliance and some things we're doing with 5-star. So hopefully you guys can make that. I think that's a 5 o'clock to 6:30 deal. So hopefully you can put that in your calendar. That'd be a good way, because I'll be there. Larry will be there. Eric Delgado will be there. We got some other folks who are going to be there from PEMCO will be there. So we're going to have a lot of folks there. Probably worth your time. So I'd put that on your calendar again if you're going to be in Dallas for that. We also have an event on the ADR side that 5-stars put on the calendar. I should know when it is, but I absolutely do not know when it is. I think it's just
Tuesday at either 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. It's one of those times.
Thanks.
But
Tuesday. We'll go Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah.
So just check out their agenda, and then we're gonna have Neil Dunn, who's just got promoted to our director of operations, will be there. Tanya Willis, who's our COO, will be there. We have some local folks that'll probably join us. Kim McCleskey, I think Veronica might come up as well. So anyway, we're gonna have a bunch of people there that you can meet some of the people that you're probably emailing or talking with, or if you're not, you want to be talking to them. So you definitely want to come up and say hi and get a chance to meet us. We really look forward to those meet and greets. So that's going to be Tuesday afternoon as well. As far as the ADR piece, we continue to just chunk away. We're at IMN conference, SFR related, in Austin, Texas last week. We had a lot of great meetings. That space is still pretty powerful for us. It's definitely giving us a lot of traction with what's going on in our marketplace. So we're going to continue to, we'll update you as we get more SOWs. We have a lot of stuff cooking right now. I'm tired of talking about it. I want to start giving you some results. So as soon as we get results, I'll let you know. On the other side of it, there was some interesting information coming up on the REO world that I think we're seeing the fourth quarter and then next year, things are going to change. So I'm looking forward to that. And there's some pivots as well on the second chance type of, path of assets. There's some nuances to what HUD's doing and what they're going to do in that process that it's going to help facilitate more properties dropping into the REO bucket than the auction.com buckets. So I'm kind of excited about that. That just means we're going to get a better chance to put those properties on the market and try to get top dollar for them instead of just going the investor route and looking just to turn and burn, which is what they've done for too long. So that's good news for all of us. So that's Eric, I think that's about all I can dive into at this point, honestly. I'm
Okay.
happy to answer questions though, if anybody has any questions for me.
Yeah, let's just open it up. Do you guys have any questions for Darren about the company, where we're going, processes, working with us, any of that kind of stuff?
I just want to say thank you to all of you for the work you've been giving my wife and I want to thank Darren for that little speech there because I've been waiting for a long time. I've been doing this 37 years and I've been waiting for the REO bucket to open up a little bit and start dumping some properties. And, I don't want to see anybody's bad fortunes, but I think it's about time where that market can open up a little bit and open up to some more buyers. Thank you.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, again, nobody, nobody wants ill will on anybody, right? But we definitely need to get back to agreements meaning something, contracts mean something. Um, it's just the way it should be. So, let's get back to a normalcy. That's where I am, because we've been kind of living in this upside down. Again, COVID threw us off for a loop. I mean, but it's been a long run. I mean, I want to bury COVID. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Let's move on and let's get back to having properties flow the way they should flow. So if someone at this point, instead of extending out forever, when people aren't making payments, let's move the process forward. And then let's get the property on the market. Let's get a new family or somebody else out in there that can start living the American dream. That's what it's all about.
And I think that's a good point, Darren, because that's what's been limited. I'm in Florida, Pinellas County, and I think our price range or our market has knocked out a lot of first-time home buyers because we don't have a lot of good properties under 400,000. So, to see that the equilibrium come back into play, if there's going to be some foreclosures or short sales, you might get some fortunate families now that can move into some areas where they couldn't move in the past 5 years. Thank you.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah, I definitely agree with all that you guys are saying. We are seeing some, at least I see it on my end because, as you guys know, I run, a little small brokerage and a lot of agents in that brokerage do REO, and we have masterminds and huddles just about every day and certainly every week. And everybody's has been expressing to me that they're seeing growth, they're seeing more opportunities. And so we are trying to get back to that normalcy. And, like Darren said, normal's good. Uh, Anything else anybody else wants to talk about? Because I'll talk about a little bit about what's happening at Five Star, but anything else you guys want to talk about right now? Or
I have a question for Darren.
yeah, go ahead, Wendy.
Darren, what's your suggestion for when you work with a hedge fund, you price it right, you do everything correctly, they don't believe you, and months later, when they get to your BPO price that you first suggested, they give the listing to someone else?
Well, you don't jump because we like you. So you stay where you are and you just keep grinding. And unfortunately, there's so many nuances to your question because the layers of the conversation is, let's say that group has an asset manager that isn't doing exactly what they should be doing. And that asset manager needs to show better numbers. So what better way to help delay or obfuscate than, hey, let's change agents because this property hasn't sold. So a conversation we get into on our side is often, we like this agent. This agent gave us a price. We still aren't there, or we just got there. And to me, every time you change the price, the cycle starts over. So as soon as you get to that price, you should be able to have a run, 90 days, whatever it would be, right? So that's the conversation that we have all the time. We're not the boss, we're the order takers. So we don't always win that conversation. But yeah, unfortunately, it's just, you got to continue to fight the good fight and just keep moving forward. I can tell you that's our point of view. That's how we address it. That's how we present it. We elevate it to to our people, like the directors and the folks that are with our clients and saying, hey, by the way, the way that this is going right now is not beneficial. We have agents that are bending over backwards, doing a lot of things for us that we ask them to do. And as soon as they get to their price, now you start off and you want to try to get top dollar, even above, way above, say 15, 20% above whatever the set price should be. And the market just tells you after 60, 90, 120 days, whatever it is. And again, after our agents are running out there on a weekly, bi-weekly basis, doing all this reporting, checking on the files, doing all the rehab work, doing the oversight, doing the inspections, the list goes on and on and on. And then they get to 120 days and they say, hey, let's reduce the price to roughly where the agent thought it should be. And then they say that, but let's get a new agent now. Yeah, that's BS. That's my point of view. And so we had that conversation. I can just tell you, we don't always win that conversation. I know specifically with you, we did not win that conversation. That's unfortunate. So I apologize to you for that. And you're not the only one. There might be other people on this call because that was April's putting her hand up. So yeah, there's a lot of folks that lost listings in that exact scenario. We elevated it. We talked to the people we talked to. I can just tell you, hopefully the next won't happen as much. I can say. I mean, we hope, but that's all I can tell you at this point. There's just too many. There's so many nuances to that process, but I can just tell you what we do. We just, we do the best we can to keep you involved as much as we can. We will, of course, try to get you additional volume back from other clients, or them, the client, whatever, as towards helping you out, because it's not the way we want it to go.
Appreciate that, Darren. Thank you for being so honest about it.
Yeah, Wendy. I mean, hey, I appreciate you. I know you're out there grinding. I mean, we are, every one of you guys on this, it's not an easy job. I'm always amazed at the stuff that our vendors, our agents do for us. I mean, going on, I talk to people about this all the time. We're in a unique industry with amazing people that do amazing things, and it's not easy. And all we do is get beat up all the time, a lot. And it's so a little pat on the back from me, because honestly, I appreciate everything you guys do all the time. And again, you're not always held up in the way that you should or respected in the way you should, and that's not right. But again, there's just a dynamic to it. I just want you to understand the bigger picture. The bigger picture is we don't have to say a lot of times with that, even though we do say what we need to say, it doesn't always work.
Yeah, and just to Darren's point, our company right now is gaining a lot of market share. When I say our company, I'm talking about American Destiny, Darren's company. But I like to talk in the
I
R.
like that, Eric. I like the ownership. You throw it out there.
Yeah, but it's we're gaining traction, we're gaining market share, but we're not so big that we don't have that individual touch. We know every agent that gets every listing. The asset managers, communicate with Darren on a daily basis. I get emails from you guys. We share information amongst each other. If you run into a problem, I always tell agents, and we talked about this on Tuesday with some of our agents in our group. If there's something going on, send me an email, but make the email problem solution oriented, meaning here's the problem, here's my recommended solution. And I'll get these emails to Darren within minutes, and we'll get this to the point where we can, start to talk about what those solutions might be. Sometimes it's not always, the answers aren't always what we want to hear, but we still work we're very much agent centric. We want our agents to do well. We want to get as much opportunities to you guys, because we feel as you guys grow, we grow, and then we can have more conversations with more clients. And that's one of the reasons why we're looking to put some other partnerships together. And 5 Star is going to be a really good kickoff for all this. Just to go over the itinerary, a lot of people are arriving on Sunday. I get there about 2 o'clock on Sunday. I want to meet with everybody and anybody we can meet with. So I'm going to start putting together like a little bit of a calendar for you guys. I have everybody that said they were going to the 5 Star. If in a spreadsheet, if you didn't fill out that Google form, you can send me an email. I'll send you the Google form. You can send it to me. I haven't sent emails out to anybody yet. I did send some stuff out to you guys a couple weeks ago about just that I would be sending stuff out in September, and we will be doing that. But we'll have pictures of what Darren looks like, what I look like, what Larry, Jeff, Eric Delgado. We'll have pictures of who we are. So if you see us in the halls, don't be afraid to interrupt us. Come up, say, hey, don't assume that we know your name. We all wear name tags at Five Star, but I can't remember everybody, and we just want to be able to make other introductions. So, say for instance, I see April in the hall, and I'm talking to Eric Delgado. I'll pull April over and say, "Hey, April, do you know Eric Delgado?" And we'll just get that conversation going. And that's the way I like to approach Five Star. I approach it from a let's build more relationships for the agents that are showing up to the event. Anytime that we can get you talking to somebody at Zome or some of the other asset management companies, MCM Capital, Temple View, BSI. If we could get you PEMCO, I know PEMCO is going to be there in force this year because they're part of our alliance now. So we just want to get those opportunities, get those conversations going. So don't ever be afraid to come up, interrupt me, and if I see you and I'm talking to somebody else, I'll always make that introduction, and then maybe you know them, and then you guys can keep the conversation going. So that's going to be my job at Five Star is to be the introduction maker. As we kick off Five Star, they're going to have some stuff on Sunday. It looks like there's a certification. I'm looking at the agenda right now. Looks like there's a certification course, some networking, a welcome reception from 5 to 6:30. Then on Monday, hospitality and registration opens up. The exhibits start at 8 a.m. There's a force rally. There's a welcome luncheon at noon on Monday. Looking through, there's some classes, and it looks like on our reception is going to be at. Let me see if I can find it here. 3 o'clock on Tuesday, which I will not be there. But just so you guys have the calendar, it's going to be in the newsletter, which is coming out next week. So you review the calendar, know what's going on. Have your, I always tell agents, especially agents that have never gone to Five Star before, don't go to Five Star without a battle plan. You'll go there with the intention to meet other asset managers and get business cards from everybody, other agents, asset managers. Except me, I won't have a business card, but I'll get yours. If you give me yours, I will put it in my database, and I'll make sure that we've reached out if we haven't in the past. Does anybody else want to talk about Five Star? That's kind of like what we're talking about today. But does anybody else want to talk about Five Star? What's going on? What you guys are doing? And then we could just do like final thoughts and end the call today.
Hi there, Eric. I'm curious because this would be the first time I am going, get all my ducks in a row, so I do intend to go. But I do see a lot of other classes that are taking place, and I wondered which would everyone recommend to attend of the classes that are on that schedule, since you guys seem to be
Well,
veteran.
I would say from my viewpoint, and I think so there's some other more qualified people on this call that could put their opinion in, but I would take what interests you and what you're good at, and then try to get better at it. But Larry, I see Sharon's on the call too. Sharon's is a veteran Five Star person. Anything that you guys could recommend, like a first time person going to Five Star, what courses or classes they should take?
Absolutely. I like your idea of a game plan, Eric, because I think if you don't have that, you're gonna miss out on a lot of good opportunities while you're there. There are some good classes, but I will tell you, Five Star is really about networking and connecting with others. And so you kind of need to balance between attending classes and taking time to meet with clients and other agents. Keep in mind,
Okay.
other agents are some of your best referral sources for meeting other clients that you want to meet. They already know them in a lot of instances, and who better to suggest someone than someone they already work with and trust? So I would definitely, kind of do a mix between the two of attending classes and just being out and meeting with people. The other thing is try to find someone that has the list of registration, of the people that have registered to the conference. And before you leave, connect with them and attempt to schedule meetings beforehand. Don't wait till you're at 5-star.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's really good advice, Sharon, because a lot of, like, Pemco might not have any more availability to have meetings. If Zome's there, they might already have. I know Shell Point was here last year. They had their meetings set up in advance. So definitely, know your battle plan, know who you want to talk to, and get on their lists. Christy, did you want to say something?
I did, just as a helpful tip for people going for the first time is one of the biggest turnoffs in my experience with asset managers is realtors who come up and right in the introduction, they start listing their resume. You know, it's one thing to say where you're from and what you do, but just have a conversation. It's after 5-star. It's the follow-up after, but nothing when you think of a servicer or a potential client, they're getting bombarded. Hi, I'm so and so from so and so. I've done 200 transactions last year. I want to get into this space. What's your, this is the time for you to just find out who the key targets are, get their contact information, exchange information, but the nitty gritty and how you get into their, don't even ask, how do I get into your platform? How do I get onboarded? That's just the time to build rapport, in my opinion. I don't know if anybody else wants to weigh in on that, but the feedback I've always heard from the servicers is, oh my God, I hear the same thing. How do I get on your platform? How many assets do you assign? How many do you have in my area? What's your distance ratio? All of those things. They are answering that question a gajillion times and it annoys them. So setting yourself apart of just being a nice person and taking that personal touch first, the follow-up comes after.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah,
Honestly, I want to trumpet that. You gotta remember, these asset managers there's a fire hose of people walking up to them and throwing themselves at them. So yeah, I think that's, Christy, fantastic tip. Just come up, be polite, be professional, make sure you have your card. I wouldn't take long, honestly. I'd just come up, make a point. If you have some quirky thing or something that they'll remember you by, that'll be easier on the follow-up. But honestly, that's all you really want to do. Because again, they're going to be talking to lots of people.
Yeah. Or buy them a drink.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think the best testament to any of that is if you see the asset manager a year later and they remember your name. That's then you've done a good job as far as making an impression, and that's why people go back to 5-star year after year after year is to cement those relationships. Going one time, it's not a one-off type thing. I talk to a lot of people about REO, getting involved in REO networks, our network especially specifically, and the question I get more than any other is how do I get the asset manager to know who I am? And it's, well, they need to get to know you, and the best way to get to know you is meet them in person, have conversations with them, send them emails that are problem solution oriented, help them out, to go the extra mile for them, and they just get to know you. It's like family, It's like how do you know your cousins is by going to meeting with them every year. If you never see your cousin for 30 years, you don't know them that well. But if you see them every year, every week, or every month, you get to know them better. Same thing with us too. So
Let me add, I think a big part of the networking is the agents, like everybody on this call, because everybody's in a different geographic area, at least most of you are in different locations. So it's helpful. Those of you that are not working, let's say with ADR right now, well, meet the people that are and get to know them. And then that's all that's going to do is help in the conversations, because we rely a lot of people in our network, especially our rock stars that do a great job for us, to reach out to them and say, hey, do you know anybody that they can help us out? This is kind of a quirky task. And you know how this works. As soon as we find somebody who brings a solution to the table, we don't walk away. We keep going back. So but yeah, so the networking part of it, I just want to make sure the networking part of it's not just asset managers, it's everybody on this call. It's agents. It's important to build rapport with your fellow agent and get to know them. But the ones in different cities, different MSAs, find out who they're working with, build that rapport to the point they start referring you as well. So it's all part of the same conversation.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you for that. Great
Yeah,
information. Thank you, everyone.
yeah, no, Natasha, you're gonna crush it. Just you're willing to go the extra mile. We really appreciate that about you. So, and Sharon had a good point about, attire. The 5 star is business casual for sure, or even business professional. Um, Suits aren't necessarily needed, but if you wear a suit, some people would never be caught dead without a suit being on. I'll probably have a nice dress shirt and some nice slacks. I go more the business casual route, but yeah, it makes it, those first impressions are always important too. So, keep that in mind when you're meeting people, and don't be annoying. Just be friendly, be helpful, be polite. But again, when you see me and I'm talking to somebody, always come up to me. Don't be afraid. I'll always, make those introductions and fit you into the conversation somehow. Um, so we're
Perfect.
going to end off here in a minute or two, but any last comments or any last tips, thoughts about 5 star coming up from our seasoned veterans out there? I won't call anybody out. I know who you are. I know who.
I have
So-
one more thing is,
Yeah.
don't forget your adjacent providers. That's what I am. I was a REO agent for 20 years and I'm not doing REO as a realtor anymore, but the same base of clients. I do national business development for 2 law firms. So don't forget people like us, because we're all dealing with the same clients, and kind of work those relationships too to meet more people. Ask your either attorneys or title reps, ask them for introductions to clients. And
Yeah, that's how we grow professionally, is by those relationships. So, well, I'll just ask for last thoughts. Larry, Darren, any last thoughts that you wanted to say today before we end off? I knew this would be a short call today, but that's okay. We have a lot to do.
I would just say that we're be diving into 5 star, where the head of 5 star sees the market going, what kind of clients are going to be there, etc. And for those of you that are attending, have a plan in place, because you can't take advantage of everything. So just really focus on the things that interest you, the things that fit into your business plan. If you've never done commercial real estate, you have no desire, or you don't want to go through the learning process, don't go to a commercial REO class or a commercial buying class, right? Like, you don't have to take advantage of everything, just the things that really align with your business plan at the end of the day.
Thanks, Larry. And by the
I'll
way, I
just-
put blank in the chat for his REO tomorrow. So if you didn't get that, send me an email. I'll send it to you. But sorry, Darren, I cut you off there.
No, it's all good. I just want to thank everybody for taking the time. I mean, I think we're in a good spot right now. Like we're talking about, we still have um, some really big things coming. I mean, just in a global thing, I think interest rates, I read an article yesterday about talking about the interest rates in 2026 are going to end up in real low sixes, if not high fives by the end of the year. So it's going to be it's going to be a little bit of a tic-tac-toe. That's all good for us when it comes to real estate in the sales market, which is fantastic. With the changes that are coming down with the CWCOT we were talking about, I think that's going to drive more REO business next year. So that's going to be nice to see that changing as well. I'm ready for a little bit of a ride when it comes to that. So hopefully we'll all ride on that one together and enjoy it. So, but thanks, Eric, for putting this on. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I appreciate everything you do too, Darren, and I appreciate everybody on this call. Thanks for making it a priority to be on the call today. Our next call will be September 18th, which is a Thursday. It'll be the third. Typically, this is the third Thursday of the month. Today was different because of my schedule. The newsletter should be coming out next week, so watch for that. If you guys need anything at all, you can text me, you can call me, you can email me. I'm very responsive to those emails and calls. And that's it. So you guys have a good rest of the day. I did record this. I'll put it in the newsletter. So talk to you guys.
Thanks, everybody.
5 star.
I have a question.
Oh, go ahead. Who's this?
Hello.
Kat?
Hi, Kathy Candelaria.
Go ahead, Kathy.
I wanted to ask you, are you guys attending the NADP conference next weekend in Florida?
I am not. I had it on the schedule as a possible. We still haven't dove back into the REO side of it, but that's quickly changing. So I see that next year for sure. I'm gonna be going to a lot of those. But I will
Mhm.
not be in Florida. That's in Florida, right? On the 8th and 9th, I think.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I won't be there. So no, I won't be there.
I do,
Okay, no
I
problem.
do know that Eric Delgado from MCM Capital in Templeview will be there, and I'm almost positive either Luisa Maya or a representative from PIMCO will be there as well.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, we'll see you guys. Talk to you later.
Bye.